Alright, how the hell do we change orientation? I don't know why it's locked. Anyways, today we're checking out a Squire Strat-O-Sonic with P-90s and a wraparound tailpiece. It's kind of being like a Les Paul Jr. Vibe, especially with that TV yellow, is I believe what they call it. Tell me I gotta do this to start. No, alright, okay. Oh, that's annoying. Sorry about that. Alright, I think we got it here. As long as you guys can see it, that's all that's important. I'm about to flip it over and I'm going to show you what we're working with. Okay. First, I simply have a very abrasive Scotch-Brite pad. And then I got the quadruple zero, super fine, super fine steel wool. So you really only need a little piece, and I've already done the whole Scotch-Brite part before I decided, hey, it'd probably be smart to make a video out of this. So basically, I just ripped this Brillo pad, basically steel wool. I don't know. You might want to make sure, if you're at home and all you have is steel wool, you might not want to, use it with the soap in there. Maybe the harsh detergents might fuck shit up. I don't want that. But the point is, on this guitar, you can even already start to see a little bit where I've been working on it. Just slightly. So if you look, it's very shiny. It's got the poly finish, and it's a beautiful guitar, and it sounds great. I love it. But I do agree with my friend that compared to the other guitars I have, even with a lacquered finish, it just, this wants to stop your hand while you're trying to slide around the fretboard. Like, it literally grabs your hand. Like, you don't want speed bumps on your, you don't want speed bumps while you're trying to slide around on your guitar. That's not cool. But anyway, so here's a little piece of steel wool I'm gonna be using, because you really don't need a lot. And I'm gonna try to put you right up on there like this, because I would like for you to see how very gently you do this and how much peels off so easily. Because I wouldn't want you to go at home and all of a sudden be like, yeah, dude, Knox said do this, and all of a sudden you got a big spot here that's like a smooth spot or whatever, and everything else is still sticky and grippy, or vice versa. So just watch what I'm doing. Super slow, dude, super slow. I like to start up here in the pocket where my hand and my thumb would be coming around here. So I literally, and as I'm doing that, see, you can already start to see build up wax coming down. I know you're, hey, that's the Brillo pad and stuff. Yeah, sure it is. That's also taking off the wood. And you can see it right here. I'm trying to hold it so right before your eyes, you can kind of start to see that grain change. There you go, right there. I just like erased that grain. Yeah, over here where it's still all smooth, it still has that grainy kind of thing. And over here, you can see it's already starting to. All right, I'm gonna put you on a tripod now, so this way you don't get sick, and I can focus here. Again, these are my body bags for Knoxlocks. Do bi-weekly giveaways for Lockpicking. But believe it or not, a mail truck hit my house 2 weeks ago. And I don't mean one of those little mail, like white, like mail trucks, those little beep beep Jeeps. No. I mean like a semi. And it took out like 2 of my family's cars in the corner of our house, and then hit the 2 neighbors' cars and landed right in their garage. Like, went right through their house. Like, oh my God, like, missed us by inches. Thank God. Thank God for small favors, right? But anyway, as you're seeing here, what I like to do, I'd like to explain a little more. I'm also starting to grip or roll my fingers around the edge of the fretboard. So if you see how I got this neck stand here by Music Nomad, you can roll up a towel, you get to anything. You just need that little ½ inch so you can slip your finger under an inch or whatever. Make sure you can see this on the camera decent. Okay. So you're not going all the way under and grabbing the frets. You're just going to, okay, so I can still see like the dark wood here, and I can tell I didn't sand it that good. So watch this, it's almost like a magic eraser. Go down the bottom side where my fingers would be cupping up over the bottom and coming up over on the frets. And main thing I wanted to mention before too, I was doing this while this guitar is still technically brand new. It has the pickups are still taped off, like they still have the sticker on the. With steel wool, dude, you got to be very, well, dude, steel wool person. You have to be very careful with the magnets on your pickups. So like when I'm done with this mat, I got to make sure today to swap it out real good out here in the yard before I bring it inside. And try not to come around too hard on the frets, because you really don't want to end up messing things up, like unevening the frets and have high spots or low spots. So you really want to stay off the fretboard. You're really just doing the neck. I kind of go, let me see, can you get, okay. I literally go right to the edge like that. And if I kiss the frets, that's fine. But I mean, like I said, don't go out of your way. And let's see if this erases that. See that? Like it starts to erase the darker grain in there. I don't know why. I'd figure that grain would be all the way to the inside of the wood. I'm really not trying to get any of the finish on my guitar here. Okay, so let's get a little. And you could already see all the, as I was saying before about the how much comes off as I'm just doing that very light swabbing back and forth. I mean, in this little blue tray thing, it's catching, you know, all the stuff coming off the neck and the thing. I'm getting it all the way down here, so this way when I come across for those high notes, I'm not gonna have all sticky neck trying to hold me back. Nice long strokes. And even if it's got too smooth for you, or something happened that you didn't like, you could honestly polish this, buff this right back up to a shine, probably no problem. As long as you don't go like a maniac over here. And it's mainly the fretboard that you'd be messing up, not so much the shape of the neck. I mean, if you're messing up the shape of the neck, you're way too crazy. All right, let's see if it's intentional. Okay, so now I can feel that feels really nice. That's nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. So I'm gonna flip it. Bring the cradle for the neck. Look at me using all the proper terminology. And I'm actually gonna go the same way this side, because I was getting both sides while I was going the other way. So being that I flipped the guitar around, it should have an equal differential, if that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Mountain Mick, what's happening, brother? Oh, I'm a big guitar dude, big guitar. Don't make me go get my Johnny Cash guitars, dude. Don't make me do it. Or my Kurt Cobain guitar. Don't make me do it. Another day. Yeah, dude. I like to start with artist series guitars and then mod them out. However, I really don't have confidence in my skills / abilities as a luthier. So I'd rather practice it on this here Squire and the other Squires I have, or my friends have, or whatnot, trade around. And again, see, it's so fine. But that's sawdust along with the thing coming off the neck. I mean, and it's so minute. It's so minute. I mean, the lacquer is just a little layer, dude. They just go nuts with one big spray of poly and it's done. I was in a couple of videos that I've watched before I went ahead and did this. The guy was saying he had to do this every couple of months, okay, or if he was playing vigorously and his hands would get sweaty, that even that sometimes would be enough to make the polish come back and make it get sticky again. So yeah, I got big monster paws, like I can tell everybody about my picks, but that obviously goes for my guitar too. So I got big monster hands, so I like a wide C. Everybody, most metal thrash people like the low level C. So it's real close to the board, and they could just jam away or get their solos out or whatnot. Okay. So you don't want to put a whole lot of pressure on here. You're not trying to warp your neck. You're not trying to do whatever. Like I keep trying, showing you, it's just that little bit that's coming off. That's all you need. I have the strap locks on here. Normally I wouldn't have the I gotta give this one, it's still relatively new to me, but I gotta give it the real setup in the sense of strap locks. Pick a strap for it. Do the ultimate setup, which I'm not doing today because I'm not changing the strings, in the sense normally I have a special screwdriver, not this one, but what I do is I roll the edges. So because there's strings, my strings are on here, I can't really show you too well, but this is, my thing is rolled, the screwdriver. And literally, do you see what I'm doing there? So I start kind of equal with the fretboard. So gentle, dude, so gentle. And then you just start to swing it around until you're parallel with the side. And you don't want to crush it. You just want to roll it that little bit. And you can tell you're kind of doing it right in the sense of now when you run it over with your finger, you feel the tips of the frets just a little tiny bit more, just because you know what I mean, you rolled that little bit of an edge. So now I got to do that to a couple of frets, otherwise it's going to feel off to the guy. But let me see if I can show it to the camera. There you go. So it's almost like you're whittling. So you start off parallel with the guitar with a round spot. You're not hurting out. Other people, they use razor blades and they use whatever. Again, I say, I'm an amateur. This is my fun thing. I'm not trying to go crazy and make anything, more a project than it has to be fun, See, and then again, you can feel the difference once you get to the frets. It has the StewMac fret end files, so that's when I give it the go over with the new strings and the whatnot. Nothing on here needs replacing. That's amazing. The electronics, the push-pull pots, excellent. Here, I'll give you a little sample. I'm not going to play proper chords because in my last video of me fixing the Kurt Cobain guitar, I played About a Girl. I just strummed to see if it was in tune, E and G, back and forth, and that video got blocked, and I couldn't make it, it was forced to be private. Or if I wanted to force it to be public, I had to appeal it. I wasn't doing none of that nonsense, so I just gotta be careful and just play generic chords. But yeah, okay, so you've seen what I do with as far as rolling the edges with here, and then after I'm done sanding everything, and then if I was polishing the frets doing that, then I'd hit everything up for the second time with the F1 oil. So I would have originally done this already. I said this was all impromptu. So when I'm done doing that, that's what I'm going to do. It's just as a rule of thumb around my house, whatever, I got non-used paintbrushes, or not yet used paintbrushes. I just use them to get all this shit off my guitars, and dust or whatever. I'm always working on projects. I got to put the lock motherfucker back together again. That's another thing that got fucking pegged. I made the live thing for motherfucker. I wanted to show everybody to see how I'm putting the rattlesnake pins in there from Dean Mac and Jay Gabriel, and how they're so different, dude. They're the same, but so different. And then there's a pin in pin. So the top part has a serrated like barrel with like, you know, rings of serration, and then there's a T-pin at the bottom that falls out. So the barrel gets plugged at the shear line, and you're like, hey, I don't feel nothing because that bottom T-pin keeps falling out. Holy shit, dude, I couldn't pick it. It is so hard. One thing I'm afraid of is on pin 1 is the highest cut in the batch, and that's where I put my trench trap. And I'm hoping that the key doesn't get all sloppy. When you have that little tiny bit of a key, when you do counter milling or trench traps wide like that, they actually turn when you try to stick your key in. And you don't want that, because it keeps rolling. It'll eventually, you know, get smaller and smaller and not work. Sorry, behind the scenes iced tea. Sounds like everybody enjoying your weekend. Doing something good, I hope. Oh, me too, dude. A wide neck, so I got plenty of room for my big old sausage fingers to get where they're supposed to be. Absolutely. I'm supposed to be on for that. Alright. I'm not going to go crazy with that here just for... I want you to hear you get, I guess, basically... Well, count them out. Shit, fuck it. Let's not be basic. Let's be deliberate. Oh, planes overhead. Anyways, let me get closer. Let's talk about it. Okay. So, these are the P-90s made by Fender. Yeah, I know. P-90s by Fender. Kind of weird, right? And then the wraparound tailpiece, that's totally throwing like Les Paul right in your face. Like no one else does wraparounds that like that. That's a Les Paul Jr. thing all day. At any rate, so if you have it flicked all the way up here, bridge pickup. Have it flicked all the way down there. Bridge pickup. Have it in the middle. Little pickups. Now, this is where the interesting part happens. The volume. And you're now, both are live in whatever, series, parallel, whatever fucking. Very thick and crunchy. Sounds fucking great. However, when you pull this one, it sounds like when Kurt Cobain's intro to Teen Spirit, the way it's trembly. Ready? Watch. Anyway, so if you count it, 1, 2, 3, 1 up, 4, 2 down, up, 5, or 2, 4, 5, both in the middle, up, 6, both in the middle was original. So yeah, 6 different tunings, or 6 different audio assault actions on your axe here. How about that? That sounds much nicer. Oh, buddy, wait till you see then when you get to my my Hellraisers. Woohoo! I got one for me, and at the time when I was still with Evie, I got one for her. So I got the Hellraiser with the crosses and the set neck, and I got her the Hellraiser Deluxe with the crescent moon. Like the moon's in the middle, then the crescent goes each way until it makes an eclipse. Oh, dude, look at me. That hers was a bolt-on. But they both belong to me now, actually. But yeah, I love them. They have the, both of them have the 81, and then mine has the push-pull pots for, I think they're the 86, and then the one I got for her is the 81, 85. But yeah, dude, they crank, dude. I agree with you. They're crystal clear, and then whatever you want to add pedal to them, that's what you're gonna get. But yeah, all right, let's flip this over and start going to work. I mean, you could just feel the whole body has a lot of, you know, just the polyurethane thing, like what they did in the 70s. All right, I can turn that off. We're not tuning nothing really, so I'm not doing nothing with strings. All right. So, put picture like that, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I am literally, all right, cool. I am just going nice and soft. Almost like if this was a violin and this is the violin bow. Or like a bugle, or not a bugle, what's the trombone? That's just nice and slow, man. If you don't want to take off too much, trust me. I understand. I go, what? I got an extra smooth spot. But, you know, you can really, like I said, the first round I did, I already felt the difference of it. And then that's when I was like, oh shit, I should be recording this if it's this drastic. Because it's one thing to me to hear some random guy I don't know on YouTube say it. It's a whole other thing for somebody I know to say it. Whether I know them from YouTube or not, it's like, oh, okay, I kind of believe that dude, or I trust this guy's opinion, or at least want to hear what they say to agree or disagree. And I mean, that's all in my whole Knoxtober things, man. That's why I always ask, you know, this or that, but ultimately I want your guys' opinions on them. That's what the fun part of it is. Yeah, you can start to see, not only is it like coating my fingers, of course, but getting all over the mat, all over the back of the neck. I mean, there's a decent breeze here. It's awfully windy, actually. That's why I had the bags and my cards and stuff I had to put under the, yeah, that's what the body bag I send you comes in, that big ass bag right there. I gotta finish making Nick his challenge lock, get the first one out. So it doesn't look like I'll be celebrating it exactly on October, because I only got to do it the first year. The first year I had it, I actually went off without a hitch. After that, every other year, something's come up one way or another. Health-wise, drama-wise. Whatever, man. Just keep on keeping on. Yeah, you could really see the neck. I don't know if this is meaning that they use cheap lacquer, or that just means I'm using cheap steel wool, or this is just what happens when lacquer meets steel wool. I'm not really like a major gloss guy here. It's really a first time me, first time you scenario. Mr. Miyagi says to Daniel-san right as they go inside the tournament. Like, wait, Mr. Miyagi, you're a black belt? See, yeah. What? Yeah, first time me, first time you. And he steals the belt out of the referee's bag. That was funny. Yeah, looking back, I love a lot of the movies growing up of all the bad things that were in them. Even just stuff from like The Breakfast Club, like John Bender running around hallways, going nuts against the principal, making cool for the girl. To like, oh my god, dude. I mean, yeah, depending how old you are. If you're older than me, then you'll even know like Animal House and like real party movies that were like, whoa, like that they couldn't make today. Basically, they tried to remake Animal House today, like the way they did, with like, you know, John Belushi and like the way to like what they do to like girls in that movie. Like, oh no, you could not make that in this day and age. No fucking way. No way. And even thinking about it, even the Blues Brothers, I'm not saying you couldn't make that Blues Brothers, but you'd have to be super careful, man. Going into Harlem, trying to say that you took over in the time of doo-wop, whoo! People might have some red flags on that one in this day and age. I believe they call that now cultural reappropriation or something. Not my word, I didn't invent it. I read it on the internet. I'm trying to get a good shot so you're not just seeing my elbow, but that's all right now. I'm going nice and flush, nice and easy. It's just really like the pressure of my finger, that's all. even getting all these little nooks and crannies too, because when your hand's coming over the top, it feels that. Before it gets to the frets or before it gets to anything, it feels all that wood. And that's, I showed in my last video that Dimebag Darrell's ML. I got the black and red one. So I call it the, what's wrong, Finn? You need to go in the house? 1 second, it's got a lot of my dog in the house. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, I got the, I call it the blood bolt. So it's like the dime bolt image, the lightning bolt, only it's a black guitar with the red streaks on it. I like it a lot. I like it a real lot. The locking nut on the tremolo for the Floyd Rose does not work very good. Only 2 out of the 3 nut slots work proper, like the way they should. I mean, you totally get away with using it. It's not a big deal. Unless you're really going to gigs, or unless you're really hitting that whammy bar harder than Hendrix, like, you don't really need to sweat it. But, wow, that's actually staying up like that. Holy shit, I'm kind of like defying, like, tempting God. A hard gust of wind's gonna come and fuck this thing up. I'm gonna fall down the deck, 2 flights of stairs, shatter off the edge. Can't believe my house got hit by a fucking mail truck, man. It's that total 2 cars hit my house and my neighbor's house, and total 2 of their cars went right into their living room. And this was at like 3:30 in the morning. I'm wide awake, doing my lockpicking shit, whatever, listening to music. Bam! Obviously, if anything, kind of reminded me of the scene of Donnie Darko when the jet engine hits and his family wakes up. That's what it was like. My whole family jumped up, the neighbors were outside, and you just see packages everywhere. Packages and packages and packages. It looked like Christmas, but I couldn't touch none of it. I forced myself to remain indoors. Thus, I heard nothing, saw nothing, and cannot report anything, or cannot get in trouble for not reporting anything. See what I'm saying? Smart move on my part, I think. I just recorded it all on camera. Man, today is such a different day, dude. Like as far as the times. Dude, running into my house, and like people stop and pull over, and like instead of asking him, he's a human being, whether he just slipped up and got into a car accident, or whether he's intoxicated or whatever it is, he's still a human being. He's still bleeding and fucked up sitting on the side of the road, you know what I mean? He's walking, pacing around. And just the way that I don't know. People have their own assumptions on a whole lot when they see accident. I didn't see the actual accident. I just heard the kaboom as it hit my house. So. Yeah, make sure if you haven't yet, you get in for the, make sure I got these pickups covered. Make sure you get in for the Knoxlocks 550. That little cutaway is fucking awesome, dude. Like I said, I make things that I would want to have, or I'd be willing to pay good money for. So that's a cool thing to give away in my book. And then, hopefully, it's in the works, processing now. Hopefully post it up tonight, or make it go live tonight or tomorrow. But that'll be for week 2. Maybe I'll run 2 weeks at the same time, or maybe I'll just do one in October and one something else. It's my channel. I do that one. But honestly, dude, the main, like the big get, like the like grand prize, I say you get to pick like the Jimmy Long pack that you want. That are the OG school, like the first like edition ones that I have. And then you get like a whole basic like kit, bare bones. You get like a whole dimple kit. locks. Like, dude, it's a fucking prize. Like, honestly, if someone else put it up there and how I saw that and I was like, yo, what? Like, he's putting up Petersons, like real, like not like the $6 Petersons with the gray handle, like the real fucking, as he called, government steel. Yeah, I told you I try to run that just like that. So I try to start parallel, not hitting the string, keep it on the wood. And just medium, and then just roll it out. Come back up on the next fret. Clickety clack, clickety clack. Roll it back out, down to the next fret. Yeah, see, that's right around the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They tend to get a little loose. Or like that's where they have the most amount of play, in my experience. When you're rolling a neck like that. Or even with my fingers. Even when I'm playing hard on my own guitar, I notice on like G strings, or if I'm going on like on the E string to make, you know, whatever, A or D, it gets kind of I don't want to say mushy because that sounds like I got super sweaty hands, but I'm just saying it gets a little sweaty, or a little sticky rather. So I'm really trying to get this on camera the best I can, but at the same time I really want to make sure I'm not make any tragic mistakes. Oh dude, I feel so much better. It really is amazing to me, both in guitars and in lock sport, when you're especially talking about picks, for like a one-time maintenance deal, meaning like my video to chrome your bones right here where I am now cleaning my guitar, like you literally do that once in a lifetime, or like once in the lifetime of those picks, and then every once in a while you just take a little thing and just clean them up if they happen to get a little you know, whatever, dirty or crusty from sitting around, not use or overuse or whatever. But I mean, I knock wood. My head. I got that. I've yet to break a pick from picking locks. I've bent them from sitting on them, stepping on them, and any other stupid thing. Hook up to, and that was nice. That's always nice, dude. Yeah, dude, Jimmy was awesome. Well, not, I was putting him, when I I put that in reference of my deal. It was like 2 years ago or whatever it was, my first time ordering them. And I was like, hey, I want to get 2 packs for me, 1 round, 1 square. And then I'd like to get 1 for my giveaway. So 3. He said, no doubt. And he sent me 4. So 1 extra one. He met me, you know, 50-50 for my giveaway. So that was awesome, dude. You know what I mean? He's just starting out. You know what I mean? Like pushing these things out in his like whatever garage or whatever. Dude, that's awesome of him. You know what I mean? Just to get it to the community. So you know what I mean? That's super cool. And that's bare bones too, dude. And a lot of it is him meeting me 50-50. But yeah, dude, for the giveaways, the bare bones stuff that I've given out, there are a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. That's where for the body bags for this giveaway, as I'm breaking up the bare bones kit that basically would have the femur handle to hold the ones, or you would just use them, you know, bare pick style, or make your own handles, you know, whatever you prefer. But all right, so now I'm going to use some F1 oil to. Okay, I'm just trying to double check in each fret. I didn't go anything too crazy, so I'm not like going inside and getting like the fret rocker and doing all like, no, like today was just a little, gave him a quick little tune up. Where's that? There it is, okay. There's just 2 little frets that I just a little unhappy with. Yeah, and I mean, you could even see that it's kind of shredding the pad as I'm even coming down on this But it's just this bottom part. The rest of it all that wasn't bad. Wait until I show you guys. I like to collect weird guitars. So I have what are called Pawn Shop series guitars by Fender and later re-released by Squire. So it's like how this guitar is totally a mix match, doesn't make sense. Like it's a Les Paul and a Stratocaster, but it doesn't make sense. You know, like with a wraparound Les Paul tailpiece with the whole. It only has a two tone, or volume, one tone knob, where every Les Paul in the world basically has four. You know what I mean? So I mean it is, I guess, a little bit different, but nevertheless, dude. I mean, to me, I think the thing sounds great, and I believe they're like, this one was on Fender, Facebook Marketplace for $225, and then with a little bit of trade, got them down to like say like $150, give or take. So because I'm not really doing what, like I said before, I call a full rundown, where I just kind of, I literally go, take the whole guitar apart basically and clean it. I'm just gonna do a little, not even fret maintenance, but like fingerboard cleaning. I have like my little brushes that I have to get all the stuff out, so this way I don't push the frets out of their seating. There you go. So I'm not trying to wipe it off yet. I'm actually just really trying to spread it around. Okay. 'Cause I really let this sit in there. I want to show you my cross in a minute. Here's a entertaining story. Okay. My buddy from Arizona, we've been best friends since about 6th grade, and he had given me, I'll show it to you one second. That's not what this built to dry. One second. It's a wooden cross. I believe it's made out of dogwood, and when I very first started going out with my girlfriend, Abby, it mysteriously just no longer wanted to stay in my pocket. I mean, every time I sat in my car, it'd fall out in the seats. Every time I got out of the car, it'd be in the parking lot of the last place I went to, or in my house. I'd be looking for it, it'd be in the driveway. Long story short, I lost it for 2.5 years. And then, Abby and I have been broken up since January, and I found it in my front yard, and it was all dried and cracked, and I really want you to see that. You could really see the colors of it almost like looks tiger's eye. There you go. So when I found it on the ground of 3 years of just like decomposure, I was like, oh man, it was all porous, it was all like fragile. And I just said a prayer over the F1 fluid, non-mockingly, being very serious. That is oil, coconut oil and something else, but whatever, it's the only oil I got. Said a nice little prayer and rejuvenated my cross. I love this thing. It's been riding in my pocket for decades. Well, I didn't read any part of the conversation on Applebee's. There's lots of Applebee's around here. So hold on. What are you guys actually talking about? Okay. Yeah, whatchamacallit, the Pawn Shop series guitars from Fender. It's like they let somebody like me just loose in their factory overnight, and they were like, build any guitars you want, and we'll meet you in the morning. And I came out with 10 guitars of like every parts and pieces of nothing that. Here, I'll bring out my two. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay. So, prepare to see something cool. Or equally as cool as what I have here. This is one of my cyclones. So, way back in the 1990s, the third guitar I got was my first real guitar was Fender Jagstang, Kurt Cobain's designed guitar. And well, it's thick like a Telecaster, pushes into my fat gut, and the nut width is like not even a inch and a quarter. So I guess it's made for Kurt Cobain's hands, you know, for him. He was like 5'3", you know what I mean? I'm 6'3". Major difference in our hands, man. Major difference. So, whatever, I was making do with the Jagstang, not exactly, I mean, I loved the sound of it, but just in playing it, man, I was getting sore too much. So, I go back to the same music store about 2 months later, and they have a Fender Cyclone, and it's not this one. It was candy apple red like this, but it had a single pickup and a humbucker and a 3-way toggle switch. I have one that is sunburst in my room, Squire. It was $119 I got. You can't miss it, brand new from Guitar Center. Could not miss that. Anyways, that 10 years ago, 2010, 2011, I got that one. So this one is the third release, and the second, they did this format only with Jaguar pickups. And it was a horrendous mistake because the Jaguar pickups without the Jaguar's body shielding, all the electrical, it went way harmonic, and it was a bad batch. So they went back to the drawing board, and they did it with their version of Stratocaster pickups. But these right here are they come from a not an artist one, but a series one. Hold on, I want to make sure this is right. The bridge pickups from a Highway 1, right? It's a Highway 1 model. And then these two are from Jimmy Vaughn's signature series Tex-Mex pickups. So there's two Tex-Mex and I just said it, Highway 51 or something like that. So that's these three single kills. And they do turn into humbuckers. So if I turn these two on, or the second I click the second one on, it's hum canceling. So it is whatever, inverted. The pole pieces are staggered. Right, these two get a very lovely sound. You know, back here is very trebly, so if you just add a little bit of the middle one, because I scoop the mids myself on the pedals or on my EQ. So, hey Zoe, thanks for stopping in. But yeah, back in 1996 or 8, I saw this color with the same rosewood fretboard, but with the humbucker, the single coil, and the 3-ways. And I wanted it so bad, and it was like the same price as the Jagstang. I think it was like $550, $650, or the Jagstang was $650 with the case, and the whatever was $550 without it. Whatever it was, $100 difference, no case. So I was a kid, man. I couldn't afford that. You know what I mean? I was like, I think I was 19. So I couldn't afford that. So I had to let it go. And then 2012, they put it out in the Squire edition. And it was, I guess, on the release, they did a sale of it for $119. So I was like, yes, sign me up, $119. And it was their first wave of the Indonesia ones. Now, here we are 10 years later, and Fender is in Indonesia. So like now they have the Fender standard, like the Stratocaster standard, and it's like, whoa, like, you know, that's supposed to be Squire territory. Like, Fender's supposed to be like America, kind of substituted by Mexico, and then long lost Japan for the rest of the world. But like, yeah, no, now pretty much every Squire I've come across in the last decade, almost, I call it like one from Korea or something, like the one from China, but for the most part, all this something Indonesia. Oh no, look at this. Well, I see it's kind of the same thing though. If I hear China, because watch, I'm gonna hand you the other one. Well, hold on. Some say Indonesia, some say Indochina, so it does make a difference on where. Let's see what the other one says. Oh wow. Yeah, actually both of these are made in China. Interesting. I only say that like that because I swore that they were I know that the first one is Indonesian. I just assumed that the rest would be too. Wow, so the Indonesia Squires they shipped off to China, and the Mexican American Stratocasters they sent to Indonesia. I thought that was crazy. Like you're paying 500 to 750, or if you want to customize, over $1,000 for a guitar that's like an overseas like checked off list and comes out of the factory. Like we're coming like leaps and bounds as far as, you know, Fender was meant to be replaceable parts. That was his whole idea of like, I want a kit that I could mess around with the pickups, I could swap necks, I could do whatever I want, you know, within boundaries, and swap parts and have fun with it. And, you know, like a hobby, make it work, come up with new noises, more sound, more whatever. But, you know, I think a lot of what like our modern day virtuosos like Tim Henson and like whatever, they have a whole different way about it, man. Like just the way that they play with the, instead of like the Les Paul sweep picking, they have like with their fingers. It's just amazing. Like, I mean, they're phenomenal. The jaw dropping. So I mean, the skills. I'm not saying I haven't been around 1500, so I don't know what their violin or string standards might have been. Oh, there's a band playing in the background. If you hear a live band playing, or if you've been hearing it the whole time, that's not my radio, and obviously I'm not playing. I will want to give you one little notice though. Be careful not to do this too much, or else the E strings might roll off the fretboard. Warning on that. Don't say I didn't tell you so. However, having that little bit of a rolled edge in about a week from now, when that oil, I'm gonna get probably another treatment in a couple days. When that oil sets in there and starts to kind of level out a little bit, oh, dude. Well, here's my thing. I was sitting around bored one day, and I couldn't do lockpicking stuff because all my stuff was locked away. And I was like, you know what? I'm capable. I do metal things, whatever, wood things, project, whatever. Like, dude, why don't I do this with my guitar instead of paying someone else to do it? And you know what? Why don't I swap some pickups up? And why don't I? And honestly, that all comes from picking locks. Like I was like, oh, well, if I could sit there and take 25,000 locks, lock picks, and shave them down to like 0.15 or 0.18 is my standard, but 0.15 to like Euro styles, or even I have the 0.12s for like to match the Sparrow's Sparrow set. But yeah, I'm really trying to dig this oil in there good. Spin it around. Kind of going mincemeat with the towel here, or paper towel, but I don't care about that at all. Flap off so it's dry. So without taking the, okay, 10% battery. I'm gonna play it out till it dies, but hey, this is Knox, just saying it now. Remember, anything is possible. Wait. Oh, wow, I forgot my own saying. How about that? My dog just came over and distracted me. Anything is possible when everything's unlockable. There you go. All right. So I don't know. I got a couple minutes on here. It'll probably go for a minute. But, oh, you saw him twice in Florida? Dude, he's amazing. Oh, dude, I could only imagine. A buddy of mine, Ryan, when we were growing up, me and him together took guitar in school. It was a band class, kind of. We were the only two kids that play guitar. And he took me to a planetarium. And it was cool just to kick back. And, like, obviously it wasn't us playing. They had, like, Pink Floyd, and they had, like, you know, other band. And it was just cool just to have the whole, you know, it's like a guitar virtuoso theme. Oh, wow, that's real cool, dude. Yeah, man, growing up as a kid, it was him and, like, Eric Johnson, Cliffs of Dover, that kind of stuff, like, as far as not talking metal, you know, anybody from Lemmy to Kurt Hammock to any of the, you know, serious shredders that are out there, Anthrax or Pantera, Dimebag Dow. I like how what his name represents. He would never carry any more pot than he could swallow, hence a dime bag. That's why they call him Dimebag Dow. I heard that, laughed my ass off. I thought that was great. Yeah. When I was probably, I guess, 14, 15, I heard first Eric Johnson, Clips of Dover, and when I was sick, and it's cool. It's cool. You make a connection sometimes when you're, I don't say in between worlds when you're sickly, but I don't know. As a kid, I had a bad fever, hopped up on cold medicine, whatnot, and I just had that and a bunch of other songs on a mixtape, playing repeat. Floating in and out of NyQuil / whatever the hell doctor gave me medicines. Boy, good to be a kid again. Wow, yeah, we've celebrated, well, it's on my YouTube channel, that 3 Knoxtobers. That's crazy to me. I look at my thing, like established 2021, and it's like, wow, dude, like the years, they are going. And I can't believe how much of the last year I lost. Like that was, man, I guess sucked. It was from sickness, from like January last year to like through March. Through February into March. So that was like 3 months in the hospital. That was horrible. And then finally, when I got out, I ended up catching like COVID again. Then I had some other thing called like RCS or something. I don't know what it is. It's like, but you spit up blood and it's not cool. I had to go to the hospital. That shit sucked. The reason why is I don't have a good immune system. So if I go to like a doctor's office or anything of the such, I get everybody else's colds. So like that sucks. I don't want anyone's colds. Not mine or anybody. Okay, look at this nice sunset before the camera dies. Alright. Yeah, it's crazy. When I did this video, chroming my bones on this table, and where that house is now, those were all woods. They built 8 houses behind my house in the last year. They built that whole street right there, and that house, that wasn't a thing. Crazy, man. They just developed so much, like so much. Yeah, man, I'm gonna charge up my phone. I'm gonna be on tonight, finishing up the motherfucking, that's the name of the lock, the motherfucking lock. So I get that off the trucker, and all 7 of them should be made and out to Locksport community. So all right, guys, I'm gonna turn it off this time. I hope everybody enjoys their evening, and remember, anything is possible when everything is unlockable. Take it easy, guys. Man, don't forget, man, I got the giveaways, man. I hope you guys do enter. That came out nice. This was the first cyclone to not have pictured. I'll show you my other cyclone. It has the little Tasmanian devil one on here. For whatever reason, this 3 pickup configuration was the only one that didn't get the little Tasmanian devil guy. But, alright, I'll end it before the hour goes. Alright.